Okay, so to make a beanie, let me show you.
Inside out.
You pull it inside out, and now this works best if you have two, because then you can look like a ninja. You can you do a triangle like this,
cross it
over, and then you.
Oh, cool! Do I get to wear the beanie?
No, I'll do the beanie. Don't worry, I won't do that to you. I'll ruin my hair.
Oh, beautiful! I mean, why would you not want to carry one of these around, right?
And you know what works even better if you put your ears out like this, and then you top it off.
Beautiful.
People take you seriously. We're Andre and Lisa. We quit our jobs in 2018 and started our life of full-time travel. Wait, let's go back first. We met in 2004, started traveling together, exploring every nook and cranny of Southern Africa. By the end of 2005, we left our first international trip, 2 months in Japan. This was a life-changing experience. From then on, we were hooked. Back home, we saved and we worked. We made it a priority to visit a new country every year. Work, work, travel, 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 got married, more work, travel, work, work. Almost 15 years later, we have learned a lot about travel. By 2017, we wanted more. We drew up spreadsheets, we counted money, we made plans, worked some more. By 2018, we have sold and given away everything we owned. 2 bags in the world in front of us. Europe in a 25-year-old camper. 2019, all across Asia. 2020, COVID hit the world, and we got stuck in South Africa. We spent our time creating the perfect travel destination filter. But now we're ready for the next adventure again.
Hey, where's my coffee? You can't do that without my coffee.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Andre.
I'm Andre, and this is Lisa. And although it's summer in South Africa, it's bleak and it's stormy out there. So I got a little espresso. Lisa didn't ask, so she didn't get one.
I didn't get one.
Sorry. So we thought we'd take the day, and even though we're not quite traveling yet, we are planning to get back on the road soon.
Very, very soon.
Soon. So we thought, why not take some time and just have a look at some of the gadgets that we find useful on our travels.
Yeah, I think today we really want to focus on some things that are really odd things that you might not think about packing, but that we found really useful over the years. So this isn't your ordinary packing list, the most important things or the things that you absolutely need. These are the odd things that you're going to find really handy if you remember to pack them.
We do tend to travel quite light, and mostly hand luggage, so sometimes some of these things might pose a problem, but we found these to be exceptionally valuable and well worth carrying with us. Now, we're not going to talk about electronics today.
No.
This is about gadgets, eh?
Yes,
gadgets.
odd gadgets.
And as we say, gadgets like things to serve a specific purpose, but I think it's well worth just throwing maybe a few electronic related things in there to start with.
Yeah, I think so. And most of these items that we're going to talk about today will be handy for whether you're going on a fairly short trip or if you're full-time, long-term nomads like us.
Yes. Okay, so we start.
Yes,
all right,
go ahead.
Let's go. I will start with one of the guys that we found super handy.
Which we can't live without.
You can't live without, because you know what? You need to plug your stuff in. So we use these little bricks with a little extension cord. It's actually got a like American pin on it at the moment. I think we changed it some way, and we just carry one of these guys around to change it to a normal pin. And then these allow you to plug in a normal charger or even a normal plug thing, and then you get some USB gadgets, and it's pretty compact and lightweight, and it really is quite handy, especially if you're looking for a charging point and it's behind the bed.
Oh yeah, it not only extends to be able to charge where you want to charge, but it also gives you that multi-charging functionality so that you can plug multiple things in at the same time. Because these days, even though we're not talking about electronics today, we just seem to be carrying around more and more electronics that you need to charge.
This is probably the thing that comes out first when we arrive at a place, we check in and we like, okay, we need to get our stuff charged. You plug this guy in and set him up and off we go.
This one's mine because we've actually just recently upgraded these. We always carry around little headlights with us when we travel. And we're quite fond of the Black Diamond brand. We've had our previous ones for about more than 10 years, which we've carried with us. What we always look for in a headlight is something that is quite strong in terms of light, but also adjustable so that you can dim it and have a nice dimming function if you want to just have a light on, or if you're looking for a really strong light. We also always look for something that's compact. Woo!
Thanks.
Sorry, did I blind you? So I'll demonstrate.
It's show and tell.
It's show and tell.
Okay, I think what's more important is these ones are waterproof, which is nice, and they're USB rechargeable, which is fantastic.
That's really important.
So this is actually the thing, we're leaning towards stuff that we can charge with USB and don't have disposable batteries. And that leads us straight into our next little gadget, which is a USB device, which you might find rather odd. So this is a anti-mosquito, an anti-mosquito
a mosquito
gadget.
Deterring gadget.
So you can see this one's well used. So this also works with USB. You just plug a USB cable in there, and you buy these little pads, which is universal. We've had these all over the world. We've used this literally everywhere.
Throughout Asia, throughout Europe, it doesn't really matter where you are, we seem to find mosquitoes.
What's nice is you can actually just plug this straight into your little power bank or something, even if you don't have an out. You can even be camping in your tent and have this thing, and it'll create like a little biodome, and it really, really does work, trust me. So this is one of those indispensable options, and if you get the USB one, it's even better.
Some more small but very handy gadgets that we add onto our electronics are two things. Firstly, we have a little adapter to be able to plug into the airplane. This means that no matter what flight you're on, whether you are or aren't given headphones, you can plug in your own earphones and listen to the sound whenever you want.
I must say, it does seem like nowadays the newer planes don't have these odd connectors anymore, and you should be able to plug in your own device, but it's still handy to carry around. It's so small, I mean, you can imagine. It's just nice to be able to not be forced to use that clunky old
horrible
thing. If they even give it to you. Some places you have to pay for it.
Or even that, sometimes you have to wait until after they've served the meal before they hand them out.
Oh, the worst is there's still 20 minutes to go and before you land, and then
you're about to finish the movie.
Start grabbing these things and okay, now you have to take your headphones, give it to okay.
And then of course there's the aeroplanes where one of the headsets doesn't work or your TV's broken. So then you can always rely on this as a backup, and that's a headphone splitter. Now this can be useful in an airplane or also when you're doing audio tours. Very often you need to pay for audio tours, and if you're on a tight budget like we are, you can only purchase one audio tour and you can both listen to it.
Yeah, it's actually been quite handy. And also if you just want to watch a movie together, it's quite nice. Plug in your headset and you can listen, or podcast actually.
Really small, compact, but useful devices.
You want to tell us about
I think let's quickly just talk about packing. So there's a couple of things which most people these days are actually quite used to. But the first one is packing cubes.
Indispensable.
Packing cubes, super compact. If you're not using them, they disappear into nothing. But they really do make packing and organizing so much better. They keep your things together, you can sort and organize. And when you stuff these cubes, you can actually get so much more in. So when we carry hand luggage only, this is my tool to be able to squeeze in as many clothes as possible.
Well, it does two things. Firstly, you know exactly how much packing space you have, because if my bag's this big and I know I can have 4 of these, everything's got to fit inside them for these guys to go into my bag. Second thing is, like when you arrive at your destination, you don't have to really unpack your bag. You just pull your little cubes out, and you zip them open, boop, voila, and you're ready to go. So we just live straight out of these cubes, really. We never actually unpack the cubes.
No, and that also gives everything a place. So when you are packing up daily or very regularly, you always know, okay, this goes over here, this goes over there. If my puzzle fits together, I've got everything. If not, this is what's missing. Which
is critical, because you need to stay fairly organized. Otherwise, packing up becomes such a nightmare. It's quite strange because you do get into that routine where everything has a place. And a cube is just a good way to organize.
Now, most of these sets come in various different sizes. Quite frankly, I prefer having 4 of them the same size because they pack into my backpack the best, they fit in well, but that's up to you depending on how you pack.
Yeah, I think you have an advantage over me because your clothes are a little bit smaller than mine, where I have slightly larger sizes.
I can fit at least 10 items of clothing.
So it's a little bit more difficult.
Get to fit 3.
We interestingly also utilize different techniques for packing. I tend to roll my stuff very tightly and have little elastic bands to secure them. Lisa's got more of a folding style.
I like to have my things folded nice and flat, maybe because they also just fold to the size quite nicely.
Sure, but it's because you have smaller things. I can then roll them and put them next to each other like cigars. And I can just pick the thing I want. Okay, what else you got
very
there?
Handy. The second little thing very similar to that are just general mesh bags. So we carry a couple of these around with us wherever we go, and they serve for 2 purposes. One is, and you can see you get different types of them. You get nice big flat ones. We got other ones which are almost like little barrel bags. And we use them to be able to sort dirty laundry into. So we'll each have one of these and we'll pop our dirty laundry into that. And then when it's laundry day also, if you have got some delicates, or even smaller things like shoelaces, strange things like that that you want to wash and not lose in the wash, You pop it into there, zip it closed, and put it into the washing machine, or even if you're doing hand laundry.
Speaking of laundry, I've got a gadget that is actually pretty familiar, but not a lot of people carry it.
Well, I tell you, we never went out looking for it, but once we got it, I don't see us being able to travel without it.
Okay, so we didn't always travel with this, but in our last year, it became an indispensable part of our... It looks like a normal dry bag, but this is actually a special bag called a Scrubba bag.
That's not what I thought you were going for. I was going for part 2 of the laundry cycle, which is indispensable.
And this one, well, let me tell you. Okay, wait.
You know what I'm thinking of.
Before we had the Scrubba bag, you either had to pay for laundry, which is fine in certain places, but can be inconvenient, or you have to wash your delicates in the shower or the basin, which is a nightmare because normally the basin is about this size, or
it doesn't have a plug.
Doesn't have a plug. Now, I tried to bring a universal plug so you can see what it looks like. This is actually not the one we've been traveling with, but it gives you a basic idea. It plonks over every size, but this one's not very practical because it has a big handle. We've actually got one that's got rings that fit into each other, so you can sort of determine what size you need. So if you do need to wash something.
Any form of a universal plug to be able to close the sink, whether you just want to be able to tap in water to do laundry or for anything else, very, very handy to have. Just
something to have. I think it does serve a purpose. You often get to a place where you just need to soak a few things. But this is where this guy comes in. And the Scrubba bag looks like a normal dry bag. Ours have been repaired a bit. There's a valve here that's supposed to be used to squeeze the air out of. And as you can see, it's got like a slightly thicker part on the one side. And the idea is you put some water in here, put your clothes in here, and you put some detergent in here, and you close it up like a dry bag, and you can let it soak. And it actually is watertight. But what's nice is you can just leave it in the bottom of the shower. That's normally what we do. Or you can slosh the stuff around and you can work it.
It's actually got like a little bit of texture at the bottom, little bumps that you're supposed to be able to work your laundry against.
So if you are thinking of ways to save a bit, firstly, or you're in places where it's a little bit more difficult to have laundry done and you would prefer to do it on your own. I'm thinking, for example, we were in the north of Borneo once doing volunteer work, and we either had to wash our clothes in the basin or once a week send it off for laundry, which if you're lucky, get it back after 3 days.
Well, not only that, even when we were camping in France, often the laundry machines in campsites are set to a 3-hour cycle, or the language is such that you can't figure out how to do a quicker wash. So sometimes it's just really inconvenient to have to send your laundry to a laundromat or use a laundry machine. Doing it yourself can save you time and money.
Absolutely. So this is one of those things that I don't think we'll be traveling without again.
And then still sticking to laundry, which is the item that I was actually referring to, is completely indispensable, is this little gadget.
Okay, we're really getting stuck into the
I didn't realize we had so many items that we travel just for laundry.
Well, there's a few items that go with this, but let's go with this guy.
So what this is a very small, compact, portable laundry line. And what it actually consists of is 2 lines of elastic which are twisted together. So all you have to do is span this across, and you can stick your laundry items.
Should we demonstrate?
You can hold it, and all you do is you take your socks and you just stick it in between there. So no pegs required. This is absolutely
genius. And it's super lightweight. This is all a plastic one. We had one with metal clips, and we actually have 2 of these we carry with us, and that we use these with to make it even more convenient is a collection of like S-hooks, I would say.
So this really takes a lot of things, but some items you just need to hook up in a different way.
But maybe what I should add is sometimes it's an awkward place to just hook something on, so I can do this, or I can span it with like this in the corner.
Across like that.
And I hook it on. So you can be very creative with these hooks, but we also use these hooks normally in the bathroom or in the shower, because sometimes you just need a place to hang up a face cloth or something.
Or any item. These are very, very handy. These are one of those second things that come out.
Super handy.
As soon as we unpack.
I can honestly recommend it. It just adds so much practical use, you know, for all these obscure little things. And are we down to laundry?
Maybe there's one more item when it comes to those little S-hooks. And those are South African products, in fact.
Though we really like these hooks, we've recently found an alternative which could be nice. It's called the IncredaPeg which is this South African product, actually, or invention. And you can go check them out at IncredaPeg.com. Now, what makes this nice is the idea is that it actually creates a clothing peg. It's like some other hard plastic.
Can you demonstrate?
But the idea is that you can, just put your clothes on there and like use it like a hook. But it gives you the added benefit that you can actually create hooks so you can hang stuff off it. So in a way, you could potentially replace this with this. Potentially,
or just a couple of these and a couple of those. You don't need a lot to get a lot of use out of them.
And they sort of work nicely together. You can do quite a few interesting things with them. Okay, so just before we move off laundry, well, this is not laundry, but seeing that we got these dry bags, we don't really carry dry bags because we travel very light. But we found these baby dry bags somewhere in Indonesia.
I can hardly believe actually there was two of them rolled up.
This is 2 dry bags. So we found that if you are on an outing or a day trip, even just slipping these into your pocket or your day pack, in case there's some sort of a downpour, or you want to just keep some of your valuables dry,
or just organize in a backpack.
Yes, so we have 2 of these, one for Lisa, one for me. And or you go on a boat, you want to keep your camera or your cell phone in there, and it's super handy. And they also are so small and light. You can honestly, it's worth your while carrying them.
One thing I just want to mention about dry bags is when you are thinking about what size you should get, always remember that with a dry bag, your usable capacity is not what you see like this. Because the way a dry bag works, you have to roll it a couple of times and then clip it closed. So as you can see here, you may think that you're purchasing a bag which has this capacity, and that's really what you end up in terms of usable. So always go just slightly bigger than you really need.
But they can become quite bulky. This is a very, very thin fabric. It's not like a plasticky. It's like
that's what makes these ones so
modern.
nice. As you can see, we do like to be quite organized. So something else that we always carry with us is a little variety of Ziploc bags, just ordinary plastic Ziploc bags of various sizes. And we find that we use these for all sorts of things. They're also very compact. You can use them to have some vitamins in if you want to keep something clean or dust-free, sand-free, or just to organize things. And together with that, we also always have some elastic bands. Super useful, whether you just want to tie up your hair on a windy day,
or roll up your
clothing.
Shorts and tie them with elastics. I use so many of these all the time, so we do tend to stock up on them.
Between these and the hooks, you can also just make things work no matter what accommodation you're staying in when you want something to hang up or stay in a place.
So this might seem like an obscure thing to carry with you, but super, super, super handy. And I think we've used this one so many times. What is this, Andre? You might ask. Well, actually, this is a little screwdriver. So the bits are all stored inside, and you can, use it to repair a few things or tighten a few things. Tell you, man, I can't tell you. Or even like we had to change one of the plugs on our electric cable. Hey, it was nice to have it. There's another version. And this one just takes a few more little sizes of bits and pieces. So
I'm not sure about
handy.
That one, but this one does also go through luggage.
This one we carry through hand luggage. This one should also go through, because we put this with our little kit of nail clippers, manicure set, and we've never had an issue with this before. One thing we have not tried flying with, but almost wherever we go, we try and buy something like this if we are traveling hand luggage only, is something like this. This is a very bad example. Sometimes
it's very compact.
But this is super compact. Now, the first thing we realized was in Taiwan. I think that was our first problem, where you don't see knives. Knives almost doesn't exist. You get forks and spoons and chopsticks.
And you get served a lot of big pork chops.
So, and not only that, we go to night markets and we want to try a few things, but we want to share it. I want to rip it apart like a
barbarian,
like a bear. So we try and find these little things. Now, this is a little folding knife. Now, what this makes this one nice is it's actually got a little bottle opener on it as well, and it's got a little clip so you can just stick it in your belt. But
we don't always find one as nice as that where we are. We usually just go for the cheapest version that we can use for the period of time that we're there, and then chuck it before we fly.
We normally just dispose of them, but this is quite a nice one. This one made it back with us from, I don't even know where, from Cambodia.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah. The other small thing that you don't use every day, but that's very useful when you do need it, is a very tiny little sewing kit. Now, I've got mine in a small little baggie, And you get these in very cute little containers and all sorts of things. Mine's really basic and simple. It contains a couple of threads of cotton and a few buttons, safety pin, and a needle. Really very basic and simple, but at least if you do lose a button on your shirt or something tears and you need to repair it, you can at least do that quite quickly and easily.
This is one last one maybe we can do as a combo. This is, when you travel in Asia, you see this everywhere, and this one I use, it's a cellphone stand. This will demonstrate.
To be honest, you've got yours and I've got mine, so
but
that's how your one works.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what I like about this is it's actually quite multifunctional. You can set it up to take little photos or position your phone to use a camera. Or
you can also use it to put your Kindle in as a Kindle stand.
Exactly, you get different sizes of this, and although it's not the most compact, it does fold up into a pretty small packet. Yeah.
So to look at size comparison to a phone.
Exactly, it folds up to this little thing, which is not bad. But Lisa prefers it built in.
My favorite is one of these little gadgets that you stick to the back of your cell phone cover. Now, I found the first one of these in South Korea, I think, and it was actually a little elasticated string. And I've now moved on to this one, which is a silicone strap. And what I love about this is when you're taking photos, you can just secure your phone so much easier to smile for a selfie.
I think it is quite important that you have something to secure your phone for.
Being on a boat,
places,
being in awkward places, holding your cell phone, whether you're talking or anything like that, it just gives you that little bit of security. And then second to that, it does also act as a stand. It has multiple settings, so it can set up to one level or a little bit higher and allow your phone to stand in that position or in that position.
Yeah.
So I say one of these little cell phone grips or cell phone stand, absolutely indispensable, whether you're traveling or not.
Yeah, I mean, this is strange though, because I used to carry this with me. Nowadays we carry a very portable little tripod with this built into the extendable pole. So we have ways to sort of put our camera and it's not really a bigger size tripod. Maybe we'll do a video on electronics and
I think we'll do a separate video on electronics.
At some point. Okay, so what else we got? Okay.
Well, one of the things that we always wear these days, not only when we travel, but now full time, is silicone wedding rings.
Oh, we are married, so we're supposed to be.
Well, you're not married today.
But yes, I'm not married today.
So we actually have a few of these, as you can see. We normally just travel with one or two. These are very nice because you can actually wear multiples at the same time, so I don't always have to look the same every day. What's fantastic about them is that they're absolutely soft and flexible, so comfortable. I do yoga in these, I wear it 24 hours a day and never take it off, and it's just comfortable enough to run in, exercise in, no matter what, and it doesn't hook on anything. You can
go into the water with them, and even if you lose them, so what?
They're so cheap and easily replaceable.
Cheap to replace, and
I just find that this is just so much more convenient than a ring, even despite the value aspect of it.
Okay, well, let's speak about Lisa's other favorite gadget. Now, this is you guys know it, this is like a multifunctional headgear, better known as, this is not an actual Buff. Buff is a brand, but this is sort of the idea that you get. So a neck scarf, some of you might know it as, and super handy. Lisa carries at least two of these, I think.
Always.
Yeah, because, you know, you're sitting on a cold bus or
my
you're
neck
outside,
always gets cold with the minute you walk into an airplane.
Can I put this on?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, that's my pretty pink one. Well, if you want to hide your husband's face.
Well, actually, nowadays with COVID, you know, everybody looks like they're robbing banks. This is the way people get around. So this is not that uncommon. But you know what? There's some other things to do as well. So
I also use it to keep my hair out of my face.
And you can also make a beanie out of it, or just keep your ears out of the wind, I think, when it's coolish. Okay, so to make a beanie, let me show you. You pull it inside out, and now this works best if you have two, because then you can look like a ninja. You can you do a triangle like this, cross it over, and then you.
Oh, cool! Do I get to wear the beanie?
No, I'll do the beanie. Don't worry, I won't do that to you. I'll ruin my hair.
Oh, beautiful! I mean, why would you not want to carry one of these around, right?
And you know what works even better, if you put your ears out like this, and then you top it off.
Beautiful.
And people take you seriously. Okay, moving on. What else we got? Right.
Now we need to fix the hair.
Fix the hair. We got one more. Good one.
Oh yes, this one's a little bit bulkier, so you might not carry it with you on small trips, but in some places it's absolutely indispensable.
Guys, this is a Survivor water filter. Now, this is one of the things we thought about long and hard about 2 years ago, and you know, especially after the earthquakes in Indonesia 2 years ago, and we start appreciating how at risk we are potentially when you travel. So we got one of these and we travel with, and yes, okay, this one's been well used, so it doesn't look brand new, but this is the most compact. This actually comes from the company Survivor filter. This is their product, and this is a hand pump which got a 3-stage filter.
It's quite stiff.
Yeah, it hasn't been used in a year. This has got a 3-stage filter, and it removes heavy metals,
particles,
anything down to 0.01 micron, and that's effectively removes 99.99999% of all harmful products. So the idea is that if you travel with this, you can literally filter pond water, puddle water. You can actually filter sewage water with it, and you should theoretically be able to drink it. Now you can't filtrate salt water with it, obviously, but the downside of this is a hand action, and you can extract about half a liter of water per minute. So it's not the worst thing in the world. What we normally would do is in the start of the day, we would grab our reusable bottles. By the way, these are the other product which you think is indispensable. Now everybody knows, carry a bottle, because water is actually a lot more accessible in certain places than you think. But if we can't find it from a tap, which is drinkable, or source, we use this guy, and we fill up our bottles for the day, and we sort of just spend 5 minutes in the morning. And
it's a good arm workout as well. So that's fantastic. You save the environment. We don't buy as much plastic. And what's nice about these is that there are silicone water bottles, so they can actually take both hot and cold liquids.
You can actually put boiling water in here.
You can put boiling water in here, no problem. We don't use it for coffee or things like that. We keep it for purely water, just from a sanitary point of view. But you can also put sparkling water in here, and they can take a little bit of pressure, which is really handy. They just expand, they blow up a little bit.
These bottles are about 3 years old now.
It's incredible, and they still look fantastic and work like a bomb.
As long as you keep them clean. All right, so I must say, this has been a revelation. Now, the filtration system, I think the filters are good for 10,000 liters, and one of them needs to be replaced every 1,000 liters. So, but we did discover recently the company has made a new product, which we're very excited about, and that's called it's an electric filter. Now, I'll do a separate video actually where we compare these two products, but I just want to give you a size comparison roughly.
So now I don't need to do all the
So this one's fully electric. It's got actually got space for 2 little batteries in it, but you can plug a USB power source into it. And this doesn't go faster, but at least you don't have to use manual labor. So it's super efficient. And it's about double the size, unfortunately, but it weighs about the same, interestingly enough.
I would say if you're moving on regularly and you're doing a couple of liters of water a day, maybe 5-6 liters of water, this is fine. This is what we've been using for our travels over the last few years with no hassles. But if you're staying in a place for longer, for instance, we were in Langkawi for a month, and there it would have been really nice to have had the electric one to just save you can put it on, pump a lot more water at one time, let it go.
This could be a very nice way just to be a bit more environmentally conscious. You don't buy disposable plastic, single-use plastic bottles.
And to reduce your risk, because the truth is bacteria in water is really one of the easiest ways to get an upset stomach, which can ruin your travels.
Yep, and this is the thing. It's like in some places you can't even trust the bottled water, so you've got to be wary of that. Is that everything?
I think
Are you got any surprises for us? No. Okay, I think that's enough gadgets for one day. Guys,
if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, give us a like. Why not subscribe, ring the bell over there. It really helps us on YouTube, and we really appreciate your support.
Yeah, if you don't know, you can also find us on wewillnomad.com. We have a blog, and we also spent quite a lot of time during the pandemic to develop a whole new travel destination filter tool. I know nobody's traveling right now, but we're hoping we're going to get back to it, so go check it out. You pretty much set your preferences and your date of travel, and it just tells you where you should be going.
It says what your passport is, whether you only want to go to places that are visa-free, if you only want to go to places that are off-peak season, that's countries that are allowing you in at the moment that don't have COVID restrictions, if you're looking for a place to go and ski, to go windsurfing, surfing, pop that in with the time of the year, the month that you're going, and our tool will give you your best options.
You can even decide how much you can spend, what type of travel you are. You can set your budget, and it'll make a recommendation based on value. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up.
If you're looking for this list online, you can also go to our website, wewillnomad.com, and there's a couple of other articles there as well with regards to packing, our electronic packing list, these odd items, and also tips for the female traveler.
And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.